So I'm not sure if this is the real Dododoya. Either way, big fan. You're one of my favorite YouTubers, but you aren't using that Mirror Jade, right? Cool, thanks. Hey guys, we're playing around with the new Ladies of Lament and trying to grind out some wins. Don't forget to leave a like, and let's jump into the games. Lair of Darkness, going first this time. And they go Maxi, which, I mean, maybe I should have called by the grave, but like, we're only going to summon the one card, right? I usually like to keep it for interrupting. And we're up against Runick. Pretty strong deck, pretty annoying deck, but that's just me. So we negate the fusion monster, so they can't search their field spell. That's the most important card for Runicks because it lets them play during your turn. And they go Gravity Controller, which really doesn't matter. We can just tribute it whenever we want. So they go Max C once again. That one I probably should have called by the grave, to be honest. But whatever. Only because we're going to summon a token at the end of the turn, and that's going to let them draw. But, it is what it is, right? So they go Duality, and they do find a Runick spell, and they activate their field spell, which is probably the card that they just drew that turn. So they do their thing, go +3 for no reason. Oh my goodness. +6 for no reason. Cosmic Cyclone, get rid of the lair. Oof, man. Okay. But they had to discard everything. So, DD Dynamite doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at this point anyway. And we can swing in. Oof. Games against Runick don't usually go that well, but GG's. Lair of Darkness going first this time. So Prosperity, get rid of a bunch of cards. We are mainly looking for the namesake of the deck, and we find one. Go ahead and play that. Set a couple cards at pass turn. So we have Eradicator and a Waking the Dragon. And they have Evenly Matched. I have played against a lot of Evenly Matched lately. It's been pretty rough, but that's okay. It's a really good card for a reason. So they go Danger Thunderbird, and I was secretly kind of hoping that they would discard it and then destroy our Waking the Dragon so we could summon something. But if you don't know, if Waking the Dragon is destroyed or banished or something by an opponent while it's set, you get to special summon a monster, mainly from your extra deck for free. So the idea is to summon usually Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon because it's unaffected by other card effects. But there's a lot of other good choices, like Crystal Wing, like Baron, or stuff like that. So they go for Draglubion. And they are in main phase 2 because they used Evenly Matched, so they can't go for their Numeron Dragon OTK. So they go for the classic number 38, Hope Harbinger, Dragon Titanic Galaxy. Such a long name. Alright, and we just set a Super Poly and pass turn. And before they can go for their Numeron Dragon, we go ahead and activate our Super Poly. Go for Starving Venom. And they have banished quite a few cards off the top of their deck. They have 8 left. And they go ahead and Kaiju our Starving Venom, which, you know, good for them, I guess. And what I was hoping for finally happens. They have another Danger Thunderbird. They discard it as a 50% chance, and they destroy our Waking the Dragon, which I'm pretty sure they were not expecting. So we go ahead and bring out Ultimate Falcon. Ultimate Falcon is unaffected by all other card effects. Pretty good. So, they try to make us swing at the Hope Harbinger, but because Ultimate Falcon is unaffected by all of their card effects, it doesn't actually work. So we still manage to swing over the Gizmek Orochi, and I know that they can't really summon the Orochi because they only have 8 cards left in their deck. So I'm like, okay, I can always swing over Hope Harbinger next turn. I don't need to activate any spell cards, so we're kind of free to pressure them. It doesn't actually end up working out because we'll see what they manage to play here. So, not yet, I guess. They have a defense, Hope Harbinger. We're going to swing at it. Go ahead and set our Trap Trick past turn. And they play Necroface. So they normal summon it, shuffle all banished cards back into the deck. Oh, they have 24. That's quite a few, actually. So we go Trap Trick. We're going to pull Imperm because it will negate the attack increase when that comes up. So they choose not to swing at us because we could just drop its attack. And we're going to do it anyway. So Loris, going to shuffle back a bunch of cards. Let us draw a card. And Ultimate Falcon, going to swing over the Necroface. I think Loris is okay. It's really good when the game goes long and you start grinding because it gives you extra card advantage, right? But Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't usually go long. It's such a fast-paced, like, turn 2, maybe turn 3 kind of game that I feel like having Loris in the deck doesn't actually work out most of the time. But if you do manage to get into the long game, she actually is pretty good. So swing over Necroface, swing in for 1500, set 2 past turn. Cool. And we go Slumber. So they give us another Gamma Seal, and they go Doggeran. Of course, Ultimate Falcon is unaffected, but they did destroy Luris, so they can go into their thing. And because they have more cards in their deck, they could bring back the Gizmek Orochi, go for Draglubion. They find out now that we have a Ballista Squad that we could just destroy the Numeron Dragon in response. So it doesn't really matter, but that's the only play that they can really do. So they decide to go for Heart Earth, which also doesn't actually matter. We go ahead and use Imperm, which means it can now be destroyed by battle, and they take all the damage right to the base. Cool, so we draw Lair of Darkness, doesn't actually matter. Swing over Draglubion, they bring back the Orochi, but we still have Ballista Squad, so we're going to tribute our Falcon, destroy it, win the game! Lair of Darkness. Going second this game. And we are up against Tenyi Swordsoul. Really unique deck, you know. Never actually seen it played before. Surprisingly strong for such a weak, unplayed deck.
Oh, brother!
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so we go ahead and activate our Heavenly Prison. They negate it for some odd reason. We go for Tour Guide, activate our Lilith, and it's going to get banished. Maybe I should have tributed herself, but whatever. And then because we tributed a monster we control, we can go for Darkest Diabolos, Lord of the Lair. And I activate the Lair of Darkness. I probably should have waited. I should have swung over the Keysing first and then played it after I'd gotten rid of the Keysing. But it's okay. I'm also kind of thinking that I have this Waking the Dragon, and if they don't read their cards, then their Barone will be forced to target our face down, and then we could get extra value off of it. So, you know, there's a plan. It's a silly plan, but it is a plan. But they actually just bounce their Barone back and go for a Hlongwan. But it still ends up working out. So Yazi also has to target something, so it's going to target itself and our face down here in order to destroy them. But little do they know, it's actually Awakening the Dragon the whole time. So we choose to go for Crystal Wing because I know they have to summon a Swordsoul monster if they're going to go for their whole combo, right? So I have a newly summoned monster negation that they're going to activate Taya. I'm going to negate it and destroy it. Cool. And they scoop up. Lair of Darkness. And we are up against Dododoya, which I don't know if this is the real Dododoya, but he's definitely one of my favorite YouTubers. So, you know, maybe it was, maybe it isn't. Either way. So we set a bunch of cards past turn. They're playing some kind of branded Despia deck. Cool, cool. And they play Branded Lost and Branded Fusion. So in response, we're going to go ahead and grab Eradicator, because getting rid of all of a Fusion deck's spell cards is pretty good. So here they go up to Mirror Jade, of course. And in response, we are going to tribute the Mirror Jade and destroy all their spell cards, get a good look at their hand. They have a couple Albaz, Mercurier, and then a trap card. And at the end of our turn, Mirror Jade does destroy our Skarm, which is actually good for us because we get to search Lilith. And we have to give them a token. So pass turn. Or I guess they have to pass turn because we played on their turn. So Foolish Burial, send Darkest Diabolos, Lord of the Lair. And we tribute his Albaz. And we go ahead and set a Ballista Squad. Make a token, pass turn. They draw a Desires, which gets destroyed by our Eradicator. Cool, cool. They draw another spell card, which also gets destroyed by Eradicator, which feels bad. Okay, so they summon Fallen Valbaz. So they're going to try to fusion with probably our Lilith. But in response, we can tribute the Albaz with Ballista Squad and then also destroy their face down card, which is really huge. So they activate it in response, and it is try and guess, because they only have fusion monsters in their extra deck. They gain 3,000 life points, which is kind of funny. I appreciate some jank cards. And they pass turn, and we go ahead and use Trap Trick, grab an Imperm, just because, and we give them a token. Still one more turn on the Virus. It's kind of busted. We draw a Waking the Dragon. Go ahead and tribute one of the tokens, and grab another Imperm. Go for Dark, and we can steal the Mirror Jade! Oh, it's so cool. I didn't have the other Albaz fusions in the extra deck at this point. I did eventually add them, but it doesn't really matter. We just want a 3,000 attack beater, and it being the big boss monster, you know, is just a perk. So we Imperm the Keeper of Dragon Magic, and I think he's done. I don't really blame him. So he swings in, and then we draw a Tour Guide. Tour Guide, summon Lilith, and then we can just swing in and win the game. So GG's, Dado. You rock. Lair of Darkness games can get so crazy. So first, I did end up pulling the Fang of Critias cards for this version. It's a bit unfortunate, but if we wait for all the Runick players to just get bored and play other decks, I think we can put in our favorite Legendary Dragon. Now, where would I rank the deck? I think it's probably around Platinum 3 or 4. Our tributing interaction is incredibly strong, but if our opponent wipes our back row, we have very little recovery to let us come back into the game. Again, the ranking system isn't perfect, and you can definitely get to higher ranks with the deck. I've gotten up to Diamond with Lair in the past. This is just a rough power level ranking to help you understand how strong the deck is. Finally, what do I think of the two new Ladies of Lament? I actually don't think they're very good. I know, I really wanted to like them more. The problem is Yugioh is very fast-paced. Games usually only last a few turns, so having Alice and Loris to help you recover is good in theory, but they won't normally resolve if your opponent has managed to break your board or played a Harpy's Feather Duster. Don't get me wrong, they are really great for the grind game, it's just that Lilith is so much better in almost every situation. She can tribute an opponent's monster as a quick effect, and set up a trap to help you further lock down the game. In most situations, I'd rather have a couple more traps to help remove important cards than have the new Ladies of Lament. Now, I am working on a few different variations for the Lair deck, so if you're interested in that, subscribe to see more, or just hope the YouTube algorithm recommends it to you. That's fine too, I don't really care. Anyway, that is gonna do it. I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a great day, and God bless.